kababayan natin, kahit na kung i-feed mo sa kanya, akala niya ito totoo because we were unable to educate them. We have not enlightened them as to the complications of the of the South China Sea. What is the South China Sea? Di ba? So, doon po tayo magsimula. Ngayon, magdi-discuss tayo. We will repel this. Mahirapan din po eh. So nagiging biktima po lahat ng kababayan natin. Kahit na po dito sa ating kapulungan ngayon, hindi pa nila alam kung ano-ano po ba ino-occupy ng China. Hindi po territory ang issue in the South China Sea. Ang issue dito is our maritime rights. The maritime rights designated by our exclusive economic zone. These are not territories under public international law. So, kailangan po tayong mag-educate. Tama po kayo sa premise nyo kanina, but until and unless you are able to educate our people on the complex issues surrounding the South China Sea, pare-pareho tayo pong mabibiktima. So yun muna, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat, Congressman. I agree with you. But with all due respect, the policy of the government about the West Philippine Sea must be followed by all of us. Because people governing this country is elected by the people. And having a policy like what was delivered by the Coast Guard of this country, we have to adhere with that. So, sige, proceed na po tayo CICC para pumunta po tayo doon sa tinatawag po natin debates on how to analyze and to find out kung ito po ay pwede o hindi.
With the permission of the chair. Good afternoon po. I am Marco, an agent of CICC, and I'll be presenting one of the tools that will basically detect deepfakes. So this tool, if you run it on your computer, anything that will be seen or you've watched on the computer, say for example a YouTube video, Facebook video, a video from X, this tool will be able to detect it. So I will be quickly doing a demo of this tool. So one of our examples here is a deepfake video on President Zelensky. So this is publicly available on YouTube. So this tool, this app of ours is an app where you can install it on your computer. It acts somehow like an antivirus, and when you activate it, it will practically run like a background process. So if I run it now, as you can see here in the lower right, if I run it now and play the video, so it will take some time to analyze the video, and you can see on the lower right that you have a notification there.
Zoom here.
Yeah, on the lower right, please.
Yung color red sa baba, kasi yun ang nagdedetermine kung fake or not. Yung nasa lower right, is that an application that you have to put on your computer or on
Yes,
your cell phone?
For now, it's you have to download it in your computer.
So, anong app yung na-download mo?
It's a tool called Deepfake Agent. It is.
Sige, sir.
Mr. Chair, this is the tool that we have recently acquired, a licensed software which we intend to disseminate to the different watchdogs, to the civil society members who have a large following, so that madali mag-report.
How about the members of this committee? Kasi kami rin, wala rin naman kami capacity to find out kung, well, lumabas ka yung pulburon eh. Minsan, nakukonfuse ka eh. What more?
That's right.
So So, mabibigyan din po kami ng ganyan, ano?
Well, Mr. Chair, the more the merrier, no?
Okay.
Because we will have a community-based fact checker. Hindi na siya controlled. These are independent fact checkers na who will only
How will
report to us.
how will you do that?
By registration, we have a policy right now that's being developed together with the other members of the Council of CICC as a guideline for reporting. You see, we have very limited manpower and very limited. If you have limited manpower, you cannot patrol the whole cyberspace.
Sige po. So, pwede ba natin muna ituloy yan para makita natin kung paano, how it works? Sige, CICC? Ano ba?
Marco, Mr.
Sige,
Chair.
Marco, please.
Okay, so nag-run through na yung process. So basically, the tool will take snapshots of the deepfake video. So as you can see, if I maximize it here, ayan yung sample.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Those who are present in here and present in via Zoom.
Yes, sir. Good morning, chairpersons and honorable members. The following members are present for the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Chairperson Danes Fernandez, Representative Bienvenido M. Abante Jr., Representative Ching Bernos via Zoom, Representative Ambrosio C. Cruz via Zoom, Representative Johnny T. Pimentel, Representative Amparo Maria Zamora via Zoom, Representative Joseph Steven Caraps Paduano, Representative Jose Joboy Aquino II, Representative Celso Rehencio via Zoom, Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Don Gonzales Jr., Representative Jervil G. Matrix Luistro, Representative Robert Ace S. Barbers, Representative Romeo M. Aco, Representative Bangi Emano, and Representative Loreto Acharon. We have 15 members, Your Honor. Thank you. With 15 members in person and via Zoom.
Go ahead, Project, please.
On the part of the Committee on Information and Communications Technology, the Chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Present the Committee on Communication, COMSEC. 11 members. Patient, please.
Part of the Committee on Public Information with 6 members present, the hall, and via Zoom, the chair declares the presence of all.
Thank you so much. The next item of our agenda is the welcome remarks and opening statement of the lead chairperson. And that will be followed by Chairman Pimentel and Chairman Aquino. Sa aking mga co-chairs, kay Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Don Gonzales Jr., mga kasamahan at katrabaho sa Kongreso, mga resource persons at bisita, at ang mga nanonood via live stream. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. On behalf of the co-chairs and the members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety, would like to thank the leadership of the House for entrusting us with this important task of conducting hearings regarding online disinformation in our country. Pursuant to House Resolution number 286, which was adopted by the House on December 18, 2024, the Committee on Public Order and Safety, Information and Communications Technology, and Public Information, or TRICO, were authorized to conduct a joint inquiry in aid of legislation on the rampant posting of false and malicious content in social media platforms while safeguarding freedom of speech and ensuring digital safety. We thank the authors, namely Senior Deputy Speaker Gonzales, Deputy Speaker J.J. C. Suarez, Majority Leader Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe, Minority Leader Marcelino C. Ibanan, Representative Robert Ace Barbers, Bienvenido M. Abante Jr., and Joseph Steven Caraps S. Paduano for filing House Resolution number 2147, which the House adopted as House Resolution number 286. Sino rito ang nabiktima na ng maling impormasyon sa social media? Sino rito ang nagpag-share ng maling impormasyon sa social media na pinaniniwalaan nila na totoo. Malamang lahat tayo, ang masamang epekto ng disinformasyon at misinformasyon ay lalong umalingaw sa gitna ng isang global crisis sa ating kalusugan noong panahon ng COVID-19 pandemic, kung saan talamak ang paglabas ng mali-maling impormasyon sa internet. Noong panahon na iyon, mahirap para sa ordinaryong mamamayan na makakuha ng kritikal at wastong impormasyon mula sa ating mga ahensya. Sino rito ang nabiktima ng scam? O may kilalang nabiktima ng scam? Malamang lahat din tayo. Dahil sa social media, ang cybercrimes ngayon ay may tutuloy na natin na mas madalas pang mangyari sa buhay ng isang karaniwang tao kesa sa mga common crimes. Bilang komite na may mandato na siyasatin ang lahat ng bagay na nauugnay sa pagsugpo ng kriminalidad, layunin po natin dito ang makapagsagawa ng naangkop na batas laban sa mali at malisyosong impormasyon na nagdudulot ng pinsala at krimen sa ating mamamayan, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kabataan. Napapanahon ang ating diskurso ngayong araw na ito dahil naganap na ang mga kasinungalingan at peking balita sa social media. Bawat Pilipino, lalo-lalo na mga menor de edad, mga hindi nakapag-aral, mga matatanda na hindi sanay sa teknolohiya at iba pang mga vulnerable sector ng ating lipunan, tayong lahat ay posibleng maging biktima ng panloloko at pagdidila sa social media. Isang nakakaalarming sitwasyon sa social media ay ang pag-normalize ng paggamit ng bastos na salita, toxic behavior, haters, personal attacks, o bashing. Our children start to experience self-hate and resort to self-harm. Bagamat sinusubukan na matugunan ang mga insidente ng cyberbullying, ito pa rin ay maaaring maging sanhi ng depresyon, suicidal thoughts, at iba pang mga long-term negative effect sa ating mental health. Napakahirap kasawarin kung ano ang totoo at peke sa social media. Lalo-lalo na at mayroon satirical news websites, AI-generated images at deepfakes. Ayon sa isang survey, 86% ng mga Pilipino ay naniniwala na isang malaking problema